Good evening. I'm Trey Jordan with the Clemson University Ag Mech Club, and this is our Cutaway John Deere tractor. It was donated to the club several years ago by John Deere. It was a prototype, and they said it had to be destroyed, so several students took it apart, and as you can see, they cut it and then put it back together so that it is a now working Cutaway model. You can see the pistons moving, the flywheel, everything on it moves. You can see the transmission moving also. It is driven by a 12-volt gear motor. You can see everything in its working motion just as it would if it was a real tractor actually working. As you can see the valves up here, they actually move too, and the pistons in here, and the crankshaft and everything, so it's all hooked together. This is the starter here, and the gear motor's hooked to it, and it drives the flywheel, and then everything else is driven from it. As you can see now, cylinder 1 is going down. It's on its intake stroke, so it's drawing in the air, and then in just a few seconds it'll be coming back up. But as you can see, the other cylinders, they're moving opposite, and two in the middle are. And the one on the outside is on the same stroke. Now it's cylinder 1's coming up, it's at its exhaust stroke, so it's pushing the exhaust out. Now it's on its intake stroke. You can see the valve coming down, so it's going to draw in the air. And then it'll be coming back up for the compression stroke. It's on its way up now. So now it's going to compress the air that's in there. It's going to become hotter and hotter, and then when it reaches the top, the diesel fuel will be injected, and there you get your combustion. And then now when it goes down, it'll be on its power stroke. So this is where you can get your force from. And then when it comes back up, it will be on its exhaust stroke. And you see the exhaust valve opening right here. And two, when it pushes the exhaust out, it pushes it up, pushes it through the turbocharger here. And the turbocharger then can compress the air before it actually goes into the cylinder. You get like pre-compression on it when it goes back to the intake. Here on the front, this is your crankshaft here. This is connected to your pistons. And then it drives the governor here, and these are the weights for it. And as it speeds up, the weights sling out. And then there's another mechanism that will be on the front, and it would push in on this rod here to control your fuel flow. And then this gear is then connected to the hydraulic pump over here, which will work your lift on the back and any other attachments you may have. Then if you go on down, you have some other gears. These two on the far outside are for your balancer shaft to keep the engine in balance. This is the transmission, and these are your forward and reverse clutch packs here, and they are controlled by hydraulic pressure, which we don't have right now since the hydraulic pump has been cut apart. So we do in turn use air pressure to control them if we need to. And then as you move on here, you can see the 12-speed mechanical transmission parts here. And you can see it shift and everything. This is the rear end of the tractor. So not only is this tractor, does the engine actually move, but when we go to shows, we put it up on jack stands so you can actually see the tires turning and everything, and you can see how the differential and everything works in the rear end. It's kind of probably hard to see, but you can, all of it's down here. You have the wet brakes, then you have a set of planetary gears out here on the outside. And then you have your PTO, which is right here for running bush hog, lawnmower, rotary tiller, etc. And so it's actually a full cutaway of the tractor, so you can see how the transmission works back here also. Thank you for, viewing this video here today. This is one of the only cutaway tractors in the world that we know of that actually has all the working parts, and you can actually see everything move, including the transmission and the engine. We take it to farm days, agricultural expos, and agricultural schools, and use it for a teaching tool as well as a recruiting tool to bring people into the agricultural mechanization and business program here at Clemson.